If I told you that everything you've ever loved, every person you've ever met, every place you've ever been, fits inside a dot smaller than a single pixel on your screen, would you believe me? You should, because it's true. And by the end of this video, that's going to be the least shocking thing I tell you. We're about to leave Earth behind, and we're not stopping until we run out of universe. Let's go. Right now, you're sitting somewhere on a spinning rock, hurtling through space at over 67,000 miles an hour. You don't feel it. You never will. That's how big this is already, and we haven't even left the driveway yet. Here's the plan. We're going to zoom out, step by step, from your backyard to the moon, to the sun, past every planet, out of the solar system, through the galaxy, and all the way to the edge of everything that has ever existed. Fair warning, your brain is going to try to make these numbers feel normal. Don't let it, because nothing about what you're about to hear is normal. Let's start small, deceptively small. The moon sits about 240,000 miles away. Sounds like a number, right? Here's what it actually means. If you could walk in a straight line through space, 8 hours a day, every single day, it would take you 9 years to reach it. 9 years of walking just to touch our closest neighbor. And when the Apollo astronauts finally made that trip in the 1960s, they turned around and saw something no human eye had ever seen. Earth, whole, blue, fragile, floating in nothing. Every war, every wedding, every heartbreak in human history happened on that one small marble. And we've barely left the front porch. Next stop, the star that keeps us alive, the sun. It's 93 million miles away, a distance so important scientists gave it its own name. 1 astronomical unit. Here's a fact that will genuinely mess with your head. Light from the sun takes about 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach your eyes. That means every single time you look at a sunset, you're not looking at the sun as it is right now. You're looking at the sun as it was over 8 minutes ago. For all you know, it could have vanished, and you wouldn't find out until your morning coffee. Please don't test that theory by staring at it. And the size? The sun is so massive you could fit over 1 million Earths inside it, and still have room to spare. We just left home and already were insignificant. Mars is the planet everyone's obsessed with. Rockets, colonies, endless debates about the future. But Mars doesn't sit still. Because it orbits the sun on its own schedule, sometimes it's close, around 35 million miles. Other times it swings to the far side of the sun, and that distance balloons to 250 million miles. The rovers we've sent, the little robot scientists driving around up there right now, had to travel 6 to 9 months at roughly 24,600 miles per hour just to arrive. And that's still considered next door in cosmic terms. That should terrify you a little. It gets worse. Keep zooming out. Jupiter is so enormous that every other planet in the solar system could fit inside it, with space left over. It orbits nearly 484 million miles from the sun. But Jupiter isn't even the edge. Not close. Push out to Neptune, almost 3 billion miles from the sun, and something strange happens. Sunlight takes over 4 hours just to arrive. If you stood on Neptune's surface, the sun wouldn't look like a sun anymore. It would look like just another star in a cold, dark sky. And we still haven't left the solar system. In 1977, NASA launched a spacecraft that would become the most traveled object humans have ever built. Voyager 1. Nearly 50 years later, it's still going. Over 15 billion miles from home. It has officially left the solar system and entered interstellar space, the empty ocean between the stars. It's so far away that a radio signal traveling at the literal speed of light takes over 22 hours to reach it. In 1990, scientists turned Voyager's camera around for one last look at home, and Earth appeared as a single pale dot of light, smaller than 1 pixel. Everything you are, everything you'll ever be, smaller than a pixel. Sit with that for a second, then keep going, because we're not even out of our own backyard yet. Leave the solar system behind, and distance stops being measured in miles. It has to be. The numbers get too big. The nearest star system to us, Alpha Centauri, sits about 25 trillion miles away. That's why scientists invented a new unit entirely. The light year. The distance light travels in one full year, roughly 6 trillion miles. Alpha Centauri is 4.3 light years away. Even with a spacecraft 10 times faster than anything humanity has ever built, traveling at 10% the speed of light, the trip would still take 43 years. That's our closest neighbor. Everything else is farther. Zoom out again, and every star you've ever seen in the night sky belongs to one structure: the Milky Way. It holds somewhere between 100 and 400 billion stars, more stars than grains of sand on every beach on Earth combined. Stretch a tape measure across it, and you'd need 100,000 light years to cover it end to end. Here's the part that should really humble you. For the last century, humanity has been broadcasting radio and TV signals into space. That signal bubble is now about 200 light years wide. Compared to our 100,000 light year wide galaxy, we are still functionally invisible. Nobody out there has any idea we exist. Not yet. The Milky Way isn't alone, it's part of the local group, around 80 galaxies within 10 million light years of us. The biggest, Andromeda, holds roughly 1 trillion stars and is actually moving toward us. Don't panic, that collision is 4.5 billion years away, and it'll happen so slowly, nothing living at the time will even notice. Zoom out further. The local group sits inside the Virgo cluster, over 1,300 galaxies. Zoom out again, that's part of the Virgo supercluster, stretching 110 million light years. And even that belongs to something bigger, a structure called Laniakea, a Hawaiian word meaning immeasurable heaven. It spans 520 million light years and contains over 100,000 galaxies, all being pulled slowly, silently, toward a mysterious point in space called the Great Attractor. We don't fully know what it is, we just know it's pulling. Now we reach the edge. Not the edge of the universe, the edge of what we're capable of seeing. The observable universe stretches 46.5 billion light years in every direction, a total width of about 93 billion light years. Quick question: how can that be bigger than the age of the universe itself, 13.8 billion years? Because space itself has been stretching since the Big Bang. The finish line has been moving the whole time. Inside that observable bubble, at least 2 trillion galaxies, each with billions of stars. Total stars in the observable universe? Roughly 10 followed by 24 zeros. That number isn't just big, it's meaningless to a human brain. And that's the point. Here's the twist nobody prepares you for. Everything I just described, the trillion stars, the 93 billion light years, might just be the part we're allowed to see. Beyond it could be more space, expanding away from us so fast that its light will never reach us. Not in a million years. Not ever. Some scientists think the universe goes on forever. Others think it's finite, just unthinkably larger than what we can observe. Either way, we may never know where it actually ends, or if it does at all. So here's my question for you, and I actually want you to answer this in the comments. If you found out right now that there's intelligent life somewhere out there in that 2 trillion galaxy ocean, would that make you feel less alone or more insignificant? Drop your honest answer below. I read every one. We started this video on a rock, spinning through space, worrying about small things. We're ending it having toured the entire known universe and realizing that everything we are, everything we've built, everything we've ever cared about is a single grain of sand in a desert that has no visible end. And yet, out of trillions of galaxies on this one particular grain of sand, something happened that, as far as we know, hasn't happened anywhere else. Matter woke up. It started asking questions. It started wondering about all of this. That's you. That's all of us. If this blew your mind even a little, hit subscribe. I'm making more videos like this every week, taking the biggest ideas in science and making them make sense. Like this video if you made it all the way to the edge of the universe with me, and tell me in the comments, where should we zoom into next? The smallest particles in existence? Or back out here, even further? I'll see you in the next one.